When you share your food, you share your heart. So what's on your table this holiday season? Save on your festive feast at Kroger with delicious deals on all the holiday classics. Or wow the crowd with something new, like a quinoa stuffed butternut squash. It's sure to add a pop of color to your spread. How about a sweet potato casserole with a crunchy oat streusel topping, made with care for the sweet tooth and the savory tooth? With Kroger, fill your table with love and watch as your guests' hearts get as full as their bellies. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater. I'm a what? Hallmark hater? Former Hallmark hater? Wow. It's been a long day, guys.
Today we are discussing Holidazed, episode 2, exclusively streaming on the Hallmark Plus platform. When we're done talking here, come find us on Instagram. We are Girls Gone Hallmark. Never miss an episode or a bit of Hallmark news. Plus, our countdown to Christmas bracket is imminent.
If you have thoughts on the podcast or holidays, hey, send an email our way. We are girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com.
Now, after the whiplash of an episode that is episode 1, we do really settle in here. The entire time I was watching episode 1, I was thinking, this must have been an absolute beast to edit.
Yeah.
But I do like that we kind of settle in, we dive in, and episode 2 is the Hill family.
Yeah, I am really excited that they're doing it this way because I don't know if I could have hung like chaotic back and forth with every family.
Let's start with a synopsis of the Hill family.
Sure. While home for the holidays, Josh is sanctioned with community service by an old high school connection, Sheriff Nora, after some driving infractions. On ornament duty during his community service, he bonds with Nora's son, Theo.
We're going to do some news and notes for this episode. This series was created by Claudia Grazioso and directed by Stacey N. Harding.
This episode was written by Brianna Brown and Grant Sharbo.
Erin Cahill stars as Nora Jacobs. We recently saw Erin in Autumn at Apple Hill. She was also back in her role as Lizzie on Deck the Halls on Cherry Lane on Hallmark Plus this holiday season.
Ian Harding stars as Josh Hill. Ian recently starred in The Magic of Lemon Drops this past summer. He was not in a Hallmark Christmas movie, but did star opposite Lindsay Lohan in Our Little Secret on Netflix. Ian has also been tapped to play Nate in the forthcoming Hallmark Plus series Ripple.
Noemi Gonzalez plays Gabby Camarena. Noemi is not new to Hallmark, as she previously appeared in the 2022 Christmas movie Undercover Holiday. Outside of Hallmark, she's been in 65 episodes of the daytime soap The Young and the Restless, and she had a recurring role on Selena, the series.
Nazneen Contractor plays girlfriend Stacy. We last saw Nazneen in Love on the Danube Love Song on Hallmark Plus. She will star as Neela in the next installment of The Love Club, slated for 2025. I'm thinking this might be a Hallmark Plus project.
Sebastian Billingsley Rodriguez plays Theo Jacobs. This young actor has 22 acting credits, and he has been in Frozen in Love, When Calls the Heart, and Christmas on My Mind. He also starred in the theatrical holiday release, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
He's
so cute.
You know how I notoriously don't like children either. This kid was so cute.
Oh, Theo.
Gwyneth Walsh plays Josh's mom. She has a whopping 134 acting credits. You might recognize her as Jo Ellen in Virgin River, but she's also got a ton of Hallmark movies on her resume.
Barry Levy plays Dad Sam Hill, another seasoned actor with tons of Hallmark credits, including Leah's Perfect Gift from this Countdown to Christmas season.
Finally, BJ Harrison stars as Mrs. Kaiser. And she's no stranger to Hallmark, though. Justice for BJ. She needs bigger roles. We last saw her in Crime Time Freefall and Sealed with a List. Before that, she has 143 acting credits.
Additional actors include Tuska Bagu as Mrs. McConkey, Susan McFarlane as Ruth, and Willis Taylor as the ornament judge. In a Justice for moment, Wendy gets her wish. This episode does open.
He did! The Hill family. Yes, thankful. I'm glad that they did that, but they needed to do it in episode 1 as well.
I mean, I think it's kind of only happening because it's the title of the episode, unfortunately.
You might be right.
This episode opens with Josh and Stacey on the phone, and we learn that, I mean, we knew, but we learned that Stacey is played by Nazanin Contractor. And when I saw her, I went, oh no, because I can see the setup. You know, we've got Stacey versus Nora. And I was like, I don't want to root against Nazanin Contractor.
Oh, I don't either, but her character, Stacey, is...
Oh yeah, the absolute worst.
She's an asshole. Sorry. It's actually, I'm glad, like, it's refreshing to get women in... Am I actually really saying this? It's refreshing to get women in characters that are not likable.
You wanted to root against her. It was fun for you.
Well, I wanted to. I'm rooting for Josh and Nora.
Sure.
So, yeah, I don't know.
She does a great job playing this terrible woman. I will say that.
I agree.
And we learn how terrible she is because he's like, I got community service. And she's like, ITGAF, man. Let's talk about the business.
She's like, I don't care. Let's get talking about business. And it was so funny, too, because he even questions her, like, because she says something about, like, oh, you need to remember, like, our love for our career. And he's like, what about our love, like, between each other? And she's like, yeah. Like, she's all biz.
Indeed. So Josh goes downstairs for breakfast. And do you know anybody who gives a gift and then is like, hey, where's that sweater I gave you? Are you wearing that bracelet I bought? Like, do you know people that are like that?
No, but I'm always worried about it, though.
Well, I do know people who are like that. And I'm like, I couldn't possibly wear every single thing that you gave me in this moment. Actually, in my mind, like, if I give you a gift, that it's done. I don't need to hear about it. I don't need to see it. Like, if you love it, great. If you don't, fine. Like, the transaction is over. Mm-hmm. But I did think... It made me think of that when Josh is like, where's that blender I got you? And they're like, huh.
Yeah.
But mom and dad have taken away the car keys because Josh has proven himself not to be a responsible driver within his first 48 hours home. Okay.
I have questions here. Josh arrived in his own car. Where is that car?
Oh, yeah.
Why does he need the car keys to his parents' car now?
Yeah, I forgot about that. What's the story there?
I don't know.
Did we miss it in the chaos of the first episode? Does he maybe arrive in like an Uber?
No, because he's driving the car when he's texting. He's in his own car. It's like a BMW when he gets pulled over for the first time.
Oh, I thought he was in his dad's car when he was texting.
No, he crashed his dad's car. I could be wrong, but and maybe it was an Uber. I don't know. It must have been an Uber. I thought he showed up in his own vehicle, and I thought he got pulled over initially in his own vehicle.
The only reason I think maybe he was in his dad's car in both is because they were like, you've already gotten a ticket and crashed our car, so no, you may not.
Of course, that makes sense for the story now, but like, I don't know. I would have to go back and rewatch it, and I just simply don't have the time.
Of course. I do want to comment right here is where we get like the Holidazed title card, and there's like a shattering ornament, and I kind of love it.
Yeah, it's to reinforce your holidays are not going to be pretty and picturesque as you had hoped.
Indeed.
Yeah, and there's like shattered ornament or whatever.
Josh's daddy drives him to community service. He's like, oh, this is so embarrassing. And I'm kind of like, is it really though? Like, you're home visiting, you don't have your own car, like. You're not 17 years old getting driven around by your parents. It's okay.
Well, look, here, now again, like, of course he's not going to have his own car because he's going to Sydney in like the next 2 days. So it must have been an Uber that dropped him off at first. Okay, I stand corrected.
He like walks into community service and he's like on his phone, of course. And he's late. And he's like, it's only 2 minutes.
Well, okay, first of all, the phone conversation, he's talking about like, money being transferred and wired, and it's a gift. And like, if you're not paying that close attention, you think he's just working, but this is going to come into play a little bit later, like this conversation that he's having on the phone. And then he is scolded for being late. And I'm wondering, I'm like, is he a douchebag, or is he just misunderstood in these scenarios, or a little bit of both?
Yeah, maybe both. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm Team Josh. That's spoiler alert.
Me too. Side note as well, community service, this is a ridiculous community service.
Come decorate a tree.
So dumb.
Also, those trees are decorated. Also, why does it take so many days? Like, why do you show back up? Like, it doesn't take that long to decorate a tree. Why are we doing this for days and days on end? Mm-hmm. Okay. Beef over. Of course, Nora and Josh are there working on their ornaments.
Nora and Theo.
Josh kind of sucks at tree trimming, and so he sees Theo and Nora. They're also at the holiday stroll prep. That's what this place is called, right? The holiday stroll.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he goes over to help Theo out with his ornament because they're bros. They bonded over their Lego building experiment. Is there no crime in this town, or like she's everywhere and not working a lot.
You had the thought, you didn't say the thought out loud. The sheriff is everywhere. She's super sheriff.
Apparently.
How is she at, like, I don't get it. Like, how is she at this community event, but then she's like pulling everybody over for tickets? She's everywhere.
She's everywhere. And she doesn't appear to have help with her son. So what's going on?
I don't know. Good question. So Theo is really disappointed here in Josh because Theo has all these big ideas about how he wants to make this ornament, right? And Josh, as like an architect or an artist or whatever, like he's not fulfilling Theo's like wishes. And so Theo's like, you guys need to go to the art store. So he convinces his mom to take Josh to the art store. And while en route, they have to stop at BJ Harrison's house, who is a former teacher of theirs. And when Josh learns that it's a teacher that they're stopping at, he's got beef with this teacher because this teacher gave him a bad grade at one point in his high school career. And he's like kind of having a moment about it. And Nora's like, you're going to stay in the car, and locks him in the car, which I think is really funny because look, he's in the back seat behind the like.
Yeah, like a perp.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know how he gets out, but he gets out of the car and he comes to the door, and then like he exchanges words. He goes, this made me laugh out loud. He confronts, and I'm calling her BJ Harrison because that is her name in real life. I can't remember what her teacher name is. Anyway, he confronts her about the bad grade, and he goes, hi, it's me, Josh Hill, class of 2010. And 2010, I laughed out loud. This would make Josh 32 years old today. And Ian Harden is 38. But I'm like, class of 2010. I graduated in 1993. I was feeling real old in this moment.
Yeah, my youngest child was born in 2010.
But then again, I was like, dude, you've been out of high school for how long? You're harboring these like feelings because you got this F. It ties up nicely in the end. Like we understand like why she failed him. We'll get to it, but it just was really funny. In the next scene, we see Josh kind of make a dig at Nora's life because Nora is at BJ Harrison's house. She was called there. She's fixing something. And like Josh makes like this dig at her. And like she let him know immediately that it wasn't cool. And I was like, good for her. Good for Nora.
Yeah,
here.
set those damn boundaries.
Yeah. So then we head back to the community center. He's explaining what kind of ornament he wants. And I love like we have this child using his words so well to describe how he wants his ornament to feel. And I just love that Josh is like all in on helping him win the ornament competition, which kind of feels like classic Hallmark in the sense of we have an ornament competition and like, what are we going to do to win it? And this is the whole thing of the episode. It's really not, but it is so, it's a nice through line written in this episode that I really liked. Anyway, I think here we have the problem is that Josh is so literal with things and he can't understand Theo's descriptions, but they end it on such a positive little note. Like it's such a nice little like teachable moment here where Josh extends his hand and he's like, we always end every meeting on like a positive and whatever. It was cute. It was like a dad move.
Yeah, he really is giving dad vibes. And it's so, I just love little Theo. I'm like, don't hurt little Theo. Because Theo's like pure vibes. He's like, I can see it. And Josh is like, I cannot see it. And I just love like his little child brain trying to make this ornament come to life.
Yeah, it was good. So in the next scene, and this is where I think like if this was on linear, this would have been a commercial break here.
Yeah.
Because the next scene is Theo and Nora are in the car and they see Josh walking home, and like Theo can't have that. He's worried that Josh is going to get hurt or get in trouble or get, I don't know, mugged walking home. He's like, it's not safe. Let's pick him up. So they bring Josh back to their house, and it's a really sweet, this whole exchange here. Like, Josh is reading a book to Theo and they're sharing like these really sweet moments. And it's time for Theo to go to bed and he wants a hug before bed. And he calls Josh out on his less than great hug. And then he gives him his like necklace, which was something like his dad gave him, I guess.
To keep the bad dreams away.
Yeah, this was all so sweet. And I felt so bad for this little boy. I was like, oh, he needs a father figure in his life.
I know.
But then we'll get there. But like it all blends very nicely in the end, I feel. So after Theo goes to bed, they're talking about Theo's criticism about Josh's hug, and Nora gives Josh a lecture on how to hug, and they do it. Like she's like, no, this is how you hug. And this moment is so good. It's so sweet. I love both of their expressions because the way that the director shot it, like you got to see both of their expressions during this hug, and like something like they both needed and wanted. I loved it.
Well, and I also think it's very telling because if you go back to Theo's description of what he wanted from the ornament, like he wants the ornament to feel like a hug, and Josh doesn't get it. And I think it's like, this is the moment where he's like, oh, I'm understanding like the light star feeling here. Like, I'm understanding like I'm thawing because I'm getting my first warm hug.
Yeah. I mean, this whole episode really is like this should be titled like what Josh learns. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because, like I said, he was kind of like douchey at the beginning, but like truly misunderstood too. And maybe just didn't have the knowledge on these things.
Yeah, when she's like, you need to match the pressure of the hug. Oh, yeah.
Good. Now, earlier we did mention Gabby. She's not a part of either of these families, but she is a friend of Nora, and she shows up and catches them hugging, and she has like this good little laugh about it. Like she's like, oh, what did I walk in on here?
Yeah.
I thought that was great. Anyway.
We do go back to community service, and this goes back to like my earlier thought. I'm like, how long does it take? Like decorate those trees and move along, people. And you know those old ladies are going to have this place ship shape. Like they're retired. Their kids are gone. They would have had those trees decorated. Boom, boom, boom.
Totally. And I had to wonder, I was like, these people are crafting. How is this community service? Like community service should entail, I don't know, removing graffiti, picking up trash.
Yeah, or he should be like setting up the trash cans on the holiday stroll, or like hauling out all the snack items, not like decorating a tree. Like he needs to be doing the grunt work.
Yeah, this is kind of a joke of community service.
I agree. And even more kind of a joke, he's not really doing community service. He's just hanging out with Theo. And they can't get it together. So Theo's like, let's go to the fair. We need some inspiration.
Yeah, I thought this whole scene was really cute. Like, I loved the montage of it all, of them like playing games and you know, having fun and whatever. And there was a really nice scene between Josh and Nora about him being a jerk in high school.
Yeah.
But he admits to her that he really did like her, but at the time, like, he just fell to peer pressure and couldn't explain to his friends, like, oh, I like this girl, even if she's not part of our, you know, crew or whatever.
They touched on it very lightly. They almost like let it go, but it If you flash back to Christmas with the Sings, there's like a similar moment where those two characters were so different in high school, and the friends are like, what are you doing here? And I was like, people can grow and change from their high school personas.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, oh God, that's so, with you and I having children who are in high school, like, I wish they would get that perspective earlier, that it doesn't matter who you hang out with. If you like somebody who's different from you, it's okay.
Yeah, like don't let your friend group dictate all of your interactions.
Totally.
Yeah, agree. And he's also real sweet about, I think you mentioned this, but he's like, you're doing a good job. Like you raised a cool kid. And that's such a nice compliment.
I thought so too.
And then in comes Mean Stacy.
Mean Stacy. Awkward meeting between Stacy and Nora at the carnival.
And Stacy is like not sensing the tone here. And she just, like, Theo comes in, he's like, who are you? And she's like, I'm his girlfriend, and bye. We are leaving for Australia. And poor Theo is heartbroken because they haven't finished their ornament. Josh is not fulfilling, I wouldn't say his promise, but, you know, they had started this project and they're not going to finish it. And Nora steps in because, you know, Josh is like, no, I want to finish my time. And she's like, I got it. It's fine. Go do your thing.
Yeah, Nora to the rescue here. I think she could sense that her sweet boy was heartbroken.
Yes, she just wants to move along. And Stacy says, oh, you must be glad that's over with. And gross.
Stacy sucks.
Stacy sucks. In another, talk about not sensing the vibe, Josh and Stacy present his parents with a gift, which is a key to a home in a retirement community. And would anybody ever buy their parents a home sight unseen? This is wild.
I can see it happening.
With you, they've never discussed it. These people appear to be in very good health, very happy with the life they live, and you're just gonna be like, man, you're old, get out.
Well,
Now,
it was funny because the dad even said, like, we're fine right now. And Stacy, not your place, babe, but she's like, but for the future, like, you're going to need assistance. I was like, step off. You're not even married. Like, get out of here.
and he's like, she says like, oh, well, someday you're going to need help. And he's like, someday is not now.
Yeah.
I love that. And I think if we swing back to your point about like Josh was trying to like take care of his parents, I think you could definitely paint this scene with that brush. He's feeling like, I'm leaving. I want my parents to be set up. I'm maybe feeling a little bit guilty that I'm taking off. And so what can I do to make sure they're taken care of? And in his mind, this is what he's doing. He's just going about it incorrectly.
Yeah, I agree. Theo's like in his little, like, it's not called a teepee. What is it called?
His little
He's
tent.
hanging out. Yeah, he's in his little tent in his room. And he's like so sad that Josh isn't with them. And apparently it's Christmas Eve. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. The timing here, it wasn't totally established. I didn't realize it was Christmas Eve. Did you realize it was Christmas Eve?
No. And in that moment, I was like, oh, how are we going to do this? Like with these other episodes. And then when we get kind of to the cliffhanger end, I was like, oh, I think we're all going to come back together on Christmas Eve and see some overlapping storylines.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Stacey and Josh are like not vibing, like they're talking about work, and she's like all dialed in on work. It's clear that Josh is just like a means to an end for her. That's what I feel. You know, she's like, oh, we'll just be this power couple. It doesn't matter if we have actual feelings for each other. He doesn't feel like they're really speaking the same language. And then he like sees the blender that he gave to his parents that they've never used. And he goes to clear his head for a walk where he runs into Mrs. Kaiser. And this goes back to like Josh is like so literal, so analytical. He cannot understand like why he got this F. And she's like, Josh, you did not do the lesson that I asked. Like you need to look at things with like different eyes, with a different perspective. And he's like, ding, I have an idea.
Yeah.
It's ornament time.
Ornament. But you know, when he goes back and I thought like, to me, like he's like working with like Well, Stacy was there and she's like, wait, our clients don't want that. And I was like, wait, where is this going? Like, is he changing like their work project or whatever? And then, duh, Wendy, he's drawing the ornament that Theo wants so badly.
He takes it to Theo, and Nora's like kind of protective in this moment. And he's like, it's all I can think about. Like, please, let's finish what we started. And I like the light star ornament they came up with.
I mean, it was just okay, whatever. I mean, you have a limited budget. I don't know what they were going to come up with.
It's supposed to be handmade, but I think if you're looking at like he wants it to be opposite of the Death Star, like the rings that orbit it, it gave it that vibe, and they fill it with like meaningful items, including the necklace that wards off bad dreams from his father.
Question for you. How did Josh make this so quickly in the afternoon? Did he give his parents a 3D print?
I was wondering the same thing. Is this 3D printed? Yes. Did he like blow the dust off the 3D printer that is under the bed in the guest room? Great question.
Totally. But this was very sweet. And I did get a little bit teary-eyed when like Theo's talking about how his dad lives up in the sky, and here are all the things that he like loved about their life. It was very heartwarming and sweet, and I thought it was like a beautiful way to include like his dad who is now passed. It was lovely.
I thought it was really lovely too. And of course Theo's like, come with us, to the stroll. Now, I know you haven't seen every single Friends episode multiple times the way I have, but there's one episode where Ross is dating Mona, and he kind of keeps forgetting he has a girlfriend. Like there's multiple times, and he's like, oh, like I left her at the movies. And this had that vibe for me. Like Josh just kind of keeps like leaving Stacy behind. And quite frankly, I'm here for it. Like good riddance, Stacy. But I also was like, just gonna come find you. Like you got to solve this situation here.
Totally.
And Theo wins, and Stacy shows up and ruins everything.
Stacy shows up and ruins everything. Yeah, that was super awkward. Like the whole thing was like a weird, awkward interaction, and she's like can't read the room. She's a total asshole.
She's like, I love competition.
Yeah, it just was like, lady, you don't get it. I was happy that Theo won the ornament competition, and big hugs for everybody. In my notes, I wrote, man, this kid is so cute.
He is so cute. And Theo tells Josh that he's a much better hugger now.
Yeah, that was so sweet. I loved it. So Stacy wants to bounce. Like, she's like, bye. We're leaving to Sydney tomorrow. See you later. Nora wishes them well.
I mean, like, what level of emotional unawareness does this woman not have in this moment to not be like, something's going on here?
Yeah.
And
definitely.
like, also, why do you feel okay just like stomping on the heart of this child? Like, she's so clueless to me.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to compare it to another movie, I would compare it to Parker Posey's character in You've Got Mail. But moving on.
Lost on me, girl. I haven't seen that movie in 40 years, probably.
She's the absolute worst.
So in the background, we do hear rain and thunder. Guys, they do live in Oregon, so
Accurate.
rain and thunder abound. Josh and Stacy are talking at the house, and Stacy does have some concerns about like something's changing between them. And like, she's like, look, I'm going to Sydney with or without you. And you need to make a decision. You need to either come with me or stay with them.
Lights go out. Boom. Cliffhanger.
End of episode. I really enjoyed how they ended this episode.
Me too. Made me excited for the next one.
Yeah, totally. I feel like the reaction is pretty strong for this show. So if you haven't watched it, I think by the time that this episode comes out, all of the Holidazed episodes may have aired already.
Yeah, this would be a great like winter break series to dive into with your family. Get that free week of Hallmark Plus and just dive in. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, 'tis the season for giving gifts. We love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can leave them pretty much anywhere, but we really love them in the Apple Podcast app. Just takes about 30 seconds to tap those 5 stars and type out a few lines about what you love about this podcast. It's the very best way to get new listeners over here. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.
Meta's open source AI is an open invitation. It enables small businesses, startups, students, researchers, and more to download and build with our models at no cost. Which means more people can build amazing things. Because when AI is open source, it's available to all. And when AI is available to all, everyone benefits. Learn more about Meta's open source models at ai.meta.com/open.
Top reasons data nerds want to move to Ohio. High-paying careers for business researchers, analysts, project managers, and more. So many jobs, you can take your pick. What else does the data say? How about a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, and a paycheck that goes further? So crunch the numbers and our world-famous pickles. It all adds up. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Dive into the data at callohiohome.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Did you know adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't? From swimming lessons to piano classes, as parents, we invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But how much are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids essential skills like earning, saving, and investing, giving them the tools for financial confidence. This investment costs less than an after-school treat at Starbucks. Start prioritizing their financial education today with Greenlight. Invest in their future at greenlight.com/podcast.
Bye.
Meta's open source AI is an open invitation. It enables small businesses, startups, students, researchers, and more to download and build with our models at no cost. Which means more people can build amazing things. Because when AI is open source, it's available to all. And when AI is available to all, everyone benefits. Learn more about Meta's open source models at ai.meta.com/open.
Top reasons data nerds want to move to Ohio. High-paying careers for business researchers, analysts, project managers, and more. So many jobs, you can take your pick. What else does the data say? How about a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, and a paycheck that goes further? So crunch the numbers and our world-famous pickles. It all adds up. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Dive into the data at callohiohome.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Parents, did you know that only 50% of U.S. adults are financially literate? Millions of people don't fully understand how to manage money, and it's up to you to not let your kids grow up into that statistic. With Greenlight's educational money app and parent-controlled debit card, you can teach them how to earn, save, and invest wisely. The earlier they learn, the better prepared they'll be to manage their money and build a financially secure life. Give your kids the financial edge they need. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/podcast. That's greenlight.com/podcast.
Meta's open source AI models are available to all, not just the few. Because they're open source, small businesses, students, and more can download and build with them at no cost. Learn more about the benefits at ai.meta.com/open.
Top reasons data nerds want to move to Ohio. High-paying careers for business researchers, analysts, project managers, and more. So many jobs, you can take your pick. What else does the data say? How about a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, and a paycheck that goes further? So crunch the numbers and our world-famous pickles. It all adds up. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Dive into the data at callohiohome.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, plus party-ready looks for every occasion. It's easy with free shipping and returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/podcast.
Meta's open source AI models are available to all, not just the few. Because they're open source, small businesses, students, and more can download and build with them at no cost. Learn more about the benefits at ai.meta.com/open.
Top reasons data nerds want to move to Ohio. High-paying careers for business researchers, analysts, project managers, and more. So many jobs, you can take your pick. What else does the data say? How about a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, and a paycheck that goes further? So crunch the numbers and our world-famous pickles. It all adds up. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Dive into the data at callohiohome.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under $100, and gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party-perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/podcast.
Top reasons data nerds want to move to Ohio. High-paying careers for business researchers, analysts, project managers, and more. So many jobs, you can take your pick. What else does the data say? How about a bigger backyard, a shorter commute, and a paycheck that goes further? So crunch the numbers and our world-famous pickles. It all adds up. The career you want and a life you'll love. Have it all in the heart of it all. Dive into the data at callohiohome.com.
This episode is brought to you by Nordstrom. It's a season of wonder all the way at Nordstrom. You'll find the best gifts for everyone you love, including tons of ideas under $100, and gift experts to help. Wondering what to wear? They have everything from cozy styles to party-perfect looks, along with free style help from their stylist. Plus, they'll help make your shopping easy with services like in-store order pickup, gift wrap options, free shipping and returns, and more. Discover the wonder of the holidays today in stores and at Nordstrom.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/podcast.